What's up, Rockstars? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be how I keep my skin nice and matte in the summertime with makeup. I missed you so much. I honestly didn't realize how much I was missing out not having a video up because of my laptop issues. My laptop issues. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter or my Facebook, I'll leave them all down below in the description box. Then you know my laptop, I don't know exactly what was wrong with it. The guy didn't really tell me at the Apple store, but it was running really slow. They had to replace a hard drive cable, and then they had to wipe my laptop and I had to basically start over. Thank the Lord I had it backed up on an external hard drive, and it only took like 20 minutes to get it back to where it was and good to go for filming. I'm super excited. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into how I keep my skin matte with makeup in the summer. Okay, so the first thing I do to start off my face when I am going to be out in the hotness to make sure everything is nice and matte and put together is use this guy right here. This is the Benefit Porefessional Matte Rescue. You don't normally see this in my tutorials because this is something that I leave in my bathroom and I use almost every day, even when I'm not wearing makeup, to make sure that my skin stays matte. And I use about this much, not a whole lot, just about a pea-sized amount. I work it in my hands and then I press in all of the spots that I get oily, which for me is pretty much everywhere except for like right along here. This is pretty much the only spot on my face that I don't get oily. So I put matte products on pretty much my entire face. Now to prime my face, the first thing that I'm going to do is use a mattifying makeup setting spray before I do anything else. Today I'm going to be using the BOScia White Charcoal Mattifying Setting Spray. And I'm just going to do just kind of 2 sprays right in my T-zone area because that is the worst spot of oily mess for me. Now, since I have really huge pores, today I'm going to go in with a smoothing primer. This is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer. I do also have the mattifying one, which I do like, but because of the foundation I'm going to be using today, I need that coverage in my pore area. So we're going to use this one today instead. If I was going in with a poreless foundation, I would probably use this one to make sure that my face is even more matte. And with this primer, I am going to just push it into my skin where my pores are. So for me, on my chin, under my eyes, and my nose. The other thing I'm going to do is prime my eyes. I'm using the NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Primer Base. This is a great primer for oily skin people because it keeps your lids matte, which is something I have a problem with as well as the rest of my face. It is a really expensive primer. I've tried other ones that are less expensive for eye primers that are supposed to be dupes for this, and I really honestly don't think they are. I'm also going to sweep just a little teeny tiny bit of this under my eyes. My under eye area isn't oily. No one's under eye area should be oily because your under eye area does not have any pores to produce oil with. However, this does help with my under eye concealer. So, today I'm going to be using my NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation, which looks just like this. This is a great foundation if you are super oily because it is a powder, so the powder is going to help absorb some of your oils. Another primer that I used to not like but have recently been really loving for my oily skin is this one. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. This one doesn't perfectly match me, but it's the closest thing that they have. It looks really light when I first put it on, but then it oxidizes and turns a little bit darker, so I find myself having to put this like all over my neck and my chest. So for the sake of time in the video, we're not going to use the liquid foundation. I also prefer using powder foundations in the summer because, again, they will help keep you more matte. If you want to use a liquid foundation like this, go for it. Just make sure you set it with a powder. You don't have to use a powder like this one because this is a powder foundation and this is going to add more coverage. If you like that like I do, go for it. But a translucent powder will work just fine, just as long as you set the face. So since we are going in with a powder foundation today, I'm actually going to do my concealer first. I'm going to start off with my BECCA Under Eye Corrector because I just can't live without this. And we're going to put that right in the same spot we would if we had liquid foundation on already. I usually use the Naked Skin Concealer, but today I'm going to be using my NYX HD Concealer because this one is a little bit closer to my natural skin tone, and I am going to use it to kind of like cover up all of my problem areas as well. And instead of doing like big sweeping triangle motions today, I'm just going to do little dots all in this area, including the eyelid, because we are going to be using the concealer to further prime the eyes. So just like that, and then I'm also going to take it on my breakouts, which unfortunately I have a lot of right now. I do like this concealer. The reason why I don't use it very often is because the wand to me is very, very harsh. Or not harsh, hard, and it kind of like scratches at my under eye area. And then one more time with the Beauty Blender, we're just going to blend this all out. And of course my camera battery would die while I'm blending out my concealer. So now that we have our concealer done and we are still looking a little cray, we are going to go in with the powder foundation. And I'm going to be using my damp beauty blender for this, just to make sure I get the most coverage possible. Now where I'm going to start is with the pointed end of the beauty blender. I'm just going to swirl it in there. And we are going to set the under eyes and the lids with the foundation. And then we're going to take the bigger, rounder side and just apply foundation to the rest of the face. I've never used this product dry. I like maximum coverage, and according to the directions on the box for this foundation, using it with a damp sponge gives more coverage. So that is why we are going this route. This does not give me as much coverage as a liquid foundation would. I've never ever came across a powder foundation that gives true full coverage. Most of the ones that I've tried are light to medium coverage, but for in the summer when it's really hot and sticky, like nastiness out, it's okay to have less coverage and something that's a little bit lighter on the skin, just so that you're not suffocating your skin. Using the beauty blender will also help keep the foundation from looking too cakey. And now that we've got our foundation and concealer on, we're looking really, really flat and one-toned, it's time to bronze the face, and I'm going to use my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer just because it is the longest wearing bronzer that I currently own. I'm going to take a little bit of it on a little brush and buff it in the crease of my eyes today as well, because I'm not really feeling eyeshadow. So we're just going to buff this in to give a little bit of a dimension. I'm also not really going to contour my face today. I am just going to bronze it up so we look nice and summery. I am tapping today rather than rubbing like this because we don't want to take away the powder foundation at all. Well, hello life to my skin. Bronzer seriously makes all of the difference. To finish off my face, I'm going to use the Becca and Jaclyn Hill Champagne Collection Face Palette. Now, I'm not using this today to plug this particular product. I'm using it because, I apologize I'm blinding you, because this little guy right here, Rose Spritz, is the perfect shade of blush to give a really natural flush to the cheeks. This is a blush topper. It's not meant to be like an actual legitimate blush, but when used with a dual fiber brush right in this area, it gives a super natural, beautiful flush to the cheek. It does have a little bit of shimmer in it, which is okay because it is summer. You want your skin to look glowy and healthy, but you don't want to be an oily mess. So using products like this to control where that shine is awesome. I'm also going to mix just a little bit of Champagne and Prosecco Pop and run that on the very high points of my cheeks, just to give a little something extra. And then I'm just going to take the excess and tap it on my nose. Again, we don't want to rub because we don't want to rub off any of that powder foundation. So we just want to tap. Okay, so now that we have our full face pretty much done, everything but our lip, we're going to use more of the mattifying setting spray. And this time we're going to take a bath in it. And for lips for today, we are going to just use a gloss. It's summer, it's fun. My hair is pulled back, so I'm not going to have to worry about getting that in my lip gloss. And I love this formulation because it has a cooling minty sensation. That will help keep me cool in the warm weather. And if you are super, super oily like I am, you're also going to want to bring with you some blotting sheets and blotting powder. So you just throw this all in your little makeup bag and you are good to go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click on the link down below to stay up to date on what's going on in my beauty corner of the world, and leave me a comment below letting me know what's going on in your beauty corner of the world. If you have super oily skin, please leave me your go-to products for the summer down below. And if you have really dry skin, let me know what your go-to products are too, because not everybody's skin is the same, and I want to make sure that I'm giving everybody the best information possible. Love ya!